McVigilante here with a very simple question, and that is, what in the world is happening with Vincent Kennedy McMahon? Before I get too deep into this, please, if you like the video, please like the video, and if you're so obliged, please share and subscribe. We're trying to get to 300 subscribers. I would really appreciate if you like what we do here. We talk sports, wrestling, and we can delve into conspiracy theory, and this video may be all three. I know it's the typical YouTuber spiel, but seriously, I really appreciate it. So, if you hadn't heard, which I'm sure a lot of you have, Vince McMahon, yes, that Vince McMahon, former owner of the WWE, current, I think he has some position in the new company TKO. He is being accused again, because this is a different set of allegations, of trafficking a young lady. So there's a lot to unpack here. There's a lot to unpack, and so I'm going to cover this by playing the angel's advocate of each bit of information I come across. And I also want to extrapolate this for how humans have to interact with each other, if that makes any sense. This video might be pretty long. So first things first, there's the moral and the legal. I am not 100% sure if Vince McMahon actually trafficked this young lady. Part of me wondering this is because this whole allegation set takes place over multiple years, which would imply that the woman had a lot of choice into being able to leave. Also, an NDA was signed, and the only reason we are getting these allegations is because she was supposed to get installment payments. She was supposed to get a $3 million payment, or $3 million from installment payments from Vince McMahon, and only one was given. So literally, if Vince would have paid this woman her money, we wouldn't know this story existed. And even amongst the story, you are seeing there's these crazy text messages, because I haven't really gotten into the details. That's what's the issue. Even amongst the story, though, there is a text message situation, and you can see that there's some amount of consent available to her, that maybe she is in a tough situation. And this story basically goes, in 2019, this young lady did not have employment, somehow comes across Vincent Kennedy. He says he's willing to help her get a job, which he does. He helps get her a job at WWE. Now that opens him up to more legal stuff, and they start a relationship. And with Vince McMahon's relationship, I don't want to make fun, but I couldn't help but think of an old Snoop Dogg song, as far as it not being fun unless the homies have some. I say that because he's very generous with not just his wallet, but with the young lady he's with, being with his friends. And so that's, there's that John Laurinaitis, and being offered to Brock. And to see the details of this is what's the most craziness. When you really look at it, again, I don't think anyone was forced into any situation. I don't think anyone was assaulted, quote unquote. There is the part where he says he's using toys on her, and it gets to the point where she bleeds, which, that's messed up. But again, she comes back after that. You know what I'm saying? In one instance, you have 50 Shades of Grey, which is all about this DSM billionaire with this young lady. And then, I don't know that any of that wasn't involved with this, especially because her lawsuit is coming after she missed payments. I'm not trying to quote unquote victim blame. I'm just using the details I have. But again, we have to say something this. And I haven't talked about some of the more salacious stuff. Let's get into the more salacious stuff so I can angel's advocate what I just said. There's an alleged incident in which Vincent Kennedy, and I haven't said the young lady's name, it's out there, it's Janelle Grant. So I can at least refer to her as Miss Grant. Apparently, Vince defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome in May of 2020. And pawned her off to other executives. and sent her a text saying, I'm the only one who owns you and controls you, and I want to you. So there's that. Not only that, I mentioned John Laurinaitis. He's one of the executives who got I guess some extra loving from her. And there's different, wow, there's a lot of graphic stuff. You got to look up the text themselves, but there's a lot of graphic stuff, a lot of like, I don't know the best way, because he's describing what he wants and all these people he wants to be with. A lot of using her as a real life prawn actress type stuff. And that's another thing. Had he recorded this stuff and sent it out, he'd be a porn director instead of a trafficker. So that's why trafficking, that's harsh. I know that's what the basis of the NDA states. But even to that, Angel's advocates say, hey, do you think the average professional lady doesn't have quote unquote spaces to leave her pimps, but she really can't. Even though, somebody may argue the other way, but I get it. I get that part. But so yeah, I don't even want to read some of the stuff that went on with John Laurinaitis' situation. You're gonna have to read those texts. Really graphic stuff. 3 big black whats, all sorts of weird stuff. And you even have a picture of this young lady in the New York Post. She's not a bad looking girl. But we'll get into why that's a issue. Now there is some language where you say, okay, are you sure that no assault happened? So this is where it gets crazy. There's allegedly situations where her Vince and Laurinaitis are saying no means yes and take it. And there was one quote, I can't find it, but I heard it, and I gotta paraphrase the quote. The quote was something along the lines of, she won't be able to say no with something with manhood in her throat. So there was a lot of aggressiveness. I'm not trying to defend Vincent Kennedy, man. He's one of the most despicable human beings on earth, no doubt. And I'm not a lawyer, right? But you do wish this lady would have, the first sign of trouble, said, you know what, I'm gonna work at Walmart instead of I'm gonna take a job from WWE. And honestly, because she did, that gives her, I say that, she has more room to sue them, because it's very much, she got a job quid pro quo. You know what I mean? She got a job quid pro quo and kept the job quid pro quo. She has a lot to sue TKO for, or at least WWE, the WWE section. Maybe she can't sue the whole corporation, but she can at least sue them. Because I don't know that TKO had ownership while she was there. And again, I'm not a lawyer. So again, I don't want to defend this guy at all. But this was a grown woman. This was somebody who dealt with this over the course of years. And this was somebody who only came forward after her NDA was paid, or her NDA payment was missed. Also, I just announced a couple days ago, or the other day, that The Rock is a part of the board of directors, and that there was a massive $5 billion Netflix deal. And the same week, these allegations come out. I do not believe that to be coincidence. Just like when the other allegations have came out, I think there was big WWE deals being announced along those times. But that said, Vince is a despicable human being. This is not a open, shut, black-white case, because I think there's a reason there's so many different girls with a similar story. I think Vince had probably a lot of different girls. Oh, I didn't even mention the Brock Lesnar thing. Let me mention the Brock Lesnar thing, then I'll get into my spiel and try to get into some real life takeaway. So apparently McMahon told Mrs. Grant, that's the young lady, to create some sexualized content on her phone and send it to Brock Lesnar, who he was trying to re-sign. So basically, she sent some content to Brock Lesnar, and Vince implied that she was a part of the deal to re-sign him. So like, she had to screw him, and gave her number, it seems like with consent, to Lesnar. She made some videos for Lesnar, including one where she was pissing, allegedly. And then they were supposed to set up a play date, but a snowstorm interrupted it, and that was it. And then a lot of people have said, you know what, when Vince McMahon first left, Brock wanted to leave too. So maybe this was a situation, maybe not this girl in particular, but maybe this is a common thing for Vince. He gathers up these young ladies, he passes them to the boys, and this is what he does. And maybe Brock has some stories, maybe this girl plus others, because other girls have similar stories about being passed around these execs. So this is Vince's gimmick. This is what Vince does. That's why he's still a sick motherfucker. And if he does get some jail time out of it, which I don't see that happening, it could. I'm not a lawyer. It could. If he does, this is not somebody who doesn't deserve it. Hell, he deserves it for what happened to Nancy Argento, who was the lady, and I was going to use the term alleged. It's not even alleged. Jimmy Snuka murdered that young lady. And the story that is alleged is that Vince McMahon helped him get off, helped him stay free for all this time. He didn't get convicted until close to his death. He had an entire free life because Vince McMahon was able to pay off some redneck hillbilly nowhere in New York. I think they were in New York, somewhere in the Northeast. Nowhere ass cops to let him out. And no investigation was done properly at that time. And so Vince deserves the karma just from that. And who knows what else? Who knows what else this is, or what else he's done. But let's see what we can take away. We're about 11, 12 minutes in. Let's see what we can take away as normal humans. Vince is a sick fuck. That's why he's in this trouble. I don't know if legally he did anything wrong, because we're gonna go from the girl's perspective as well. But Vince is a sick fuck. And what can you take away as a normal human being? Do not let your sexual fetishization and sexuality be your downfall, because this could be Vince McMahon's downfall. After all the work he put in this business, and again, karmatically he deserves it. I'm not trying to paint him as an innocent motherfucker. I'm trying to give you a perspective, so this isn't you. Somebody put their whole life into something, created something, and we may remember him like we remember Bill Cosby, like we remember Harvey Weinstein. We may remember him, oh yeah, he was just a sick old fuck. He was a sick old fuck, which he was. He deserves it. But it wouldn't happen if he didn't have his sexual appetite in control. It wouldn't happen if he wasn't into all this weird voyeuristic sick shit and this control shit. And so that's why he has, every time his company, because he still has some stock in this whole TKO WWE situation, every time the company he built that made him billions upon billions of dollars, made his family generational wealthy beyond anyone's imagination, all the work it took for that to happen, now his name is going to be covered in this shit forever, for the rest of his life for sure, because there's too many allegations. We're gonna know he's a sick fuck. We're gonna, oh yeah, he used to trick on women, take dumps on their head, pass them to John Laurinaitis. It's weird motherfucker, you know what I mean? That's what we're gonna think of Vince. As right we should, because this is what he is being alleged. And there's a lot of normal people. No, they're not doing all this crazy stuff, but they don't keep their appetite in perspective, and they'll ruin their lives. People throw away their marriages because they just gotta keep smashing. Like the Adam Smasher. You gotta keep smashing. And you end up smashing your way out of a happy home, happy life. Men and women. At this point, you probably see more women, but a lot of men still, a lot of people, men and women. Don't do it. Don't let your sexual appetite destroy you, like we're seeing Vince McMahon. Because he's not innocent. He's not innocent, but neither is homegirl. I hate to say it. So this may be a little bit more geared towards the ladies, but don't sell your dignity. I guess it's men too, as we learned with the Cat Williams situation. Don't wear a dress. Don't sell your dignity, man. Don't sell your dignity. This is an attractive young lady. You think anyone is gonna want to marry this chick? Maybe someone has, maybe someone will, How do you think that's going to weigh on the marriage? That's going to weigh on the marriage. Yeah, she got some millions of dollars. She probably made millions of dollars while she was with Vince. Got millions of dollars after the fact and probably had the nicest bags, nicest clothes, nicest shoes, trips, lived a life most of us couldn't. This is why I do need to make it a little bit more towards the ladies. A lot of young ladies have that available to them. We've heard about the Dubai porta potties. We know Instagram models ain't really models. There's a lot of young ladies, now hundreds of thousands, if not millions of young ladies who are going to sell their virtue and sell their dignity because of some rich asshole, rather it's a sheik, rather it's some exec. What's happening in this Vince McMahon situation is happening hundreds, if not thousands of times over. Maybe even millions worldwide. Maybe even millions. I joke, we cover boxing on this channel, and the Saudi Arabian government and interested parties out there have put a lot towards boxing. And my joke is they spend more flying out Instagram models than they spend on boxing. They probably do. I don't know that. I don't have a research paper to tell me that's a joke, but it's very possible. And so if that's the case, how many of these women, pretty young women, now they done traumatized themselves for some money, for some fiat currency that's not even real. Money's not real, ladies and gents. There's gonna be some girls. Janelle Grant, I wish you the best. But no matter what happens from this case, you're gonna have to look yourself in the mirror each day and know that somebody shat on your head and you went back to them. Somebody passed you around the office and you was cool to do it. Yeah, you didn't have a job. You didn't Uber. You didn't Uber Eats. You didn't, you know what I mean? Shit, if you didn't care, strip or go to OnlyFans. If it was like that. But no, you want to be some rich, sadistic, eyes wide shut motherfucker's girlfriend. And look, yeah, you'll get money. You'll get cash prizes. You'll get money. You can sue for more. You're only suing for the $2 million. You can sue for more. You can sue WWE separately. And they'll probably cash out. TKO may just here's $10 million. Just go away. Okay, you win. Go away. And settle you out. But you gotta live with this shit. You gotta get married, have kids, all that shit with this shit. Don't do that to yourself. Men, women, whoever you are, don't sell your dignity and keep your junk, keep your sexual shit in control. And I ain't saying this like I'm some crazy expert, but I ain't never done none of this crazy wild shit, man. I don't know what to say. This is a crazy story. And don't get me wrong, I do not think the timing is coincidental. I definitely think there's probably, rather it's them people, you know what I mean? Quote unquote Illuminati. Maybe it's Vince's time to do the humiliation ritual gimmick. But there's definitely somebody out for Vince. There's no way every single time his company has a breakthrough, there's another allegation about Vince. Why don't they all come out at once? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't we get hit in 2022 or whatever it was with like all of them? I was like, y'all timing them out? Okay, whatever, man. Whatever. But I don't know what else to say about this story. I want you to tell me, what do you guys think? The crazy story. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.